Hey guys, Natasha Tessier here. I'm so glad you're here today. Today, I want to talk about steps to moving to Texas. Hey guys, I'm Natasha Tessier. I own Dwell Realty and Design by EXP here in the city of Houston. I was born and raised here. Pretty much my whole family's here. I absolutely love it. I do keep getting further and further out of the city. So I used to born and raised in kind of the Memorial area. Then I moved to Tomball. Now I'm even further out in Montgomery, but I know the areas really, really well because I was born and raised here. I do want to warn you against some new YouTubers out there. They have amazing video footage of neighborhoods and houses, but some of them are not licensed agents and definitely not from here. And so you want somebody who is going to know the flood zones, what areas flood a lot, the tax rates, how the updated, all the updated stuff going on. So today I'm just going to talk to you about the steps to moving here to the great state of Texas. I do love it here and probably will always live here, except in the summers. My goal is to get north because it gets hot. But the first thing is you're going to want to decide where in Texas. I have done a few videos on the differences in Houston and Austin and San Antonio and Dallas and all that stuff. It's pretty huge. A lot of people from out of state don't realize how big the state is and how spread out everything is. So it just kind of depends. If it's a job, Houston, you're moving for a job, then you might move to Houston. The healthcare is amazing here. It is more humid. The whole state is hot. So if you can deal with the heat in the summers, it doesn't matter. It's more humid in Houston, but it still can be 110 in Dallas. One thing I do love about Houston, and especially Northwest Houston, are the trees. It has beautiful terrain, and we're right up against the Sam Houston National Forest. So it's hilly and curvy, and it doesn't look like where I grew up in the heart of Houston, where it's just a huge city with a bunch of freeways. And I really, really like that. Right now, it finally got cold and the trees are turning red out here, and we actually have a little bit of a fall, which, I love it. I just love Northwest Houston. I love being out by the lake, and I love the people. It is a very conservative area. So if that's what you're looking for, Montgomery might be your place. If that's not, then, you may want to look further else. The difference in Harris County and Montgomery County are quite a bit different. So, and I'm going to explain my little jar in the back just as a fun thing when I finish. Okay, so you have to decide which part of Texas. I'm looking at my notes. The next thing is you're going to want to find an agent. And like I said, there are some great YouTubers out there, but some of them have a team. Like one of my good YouTube friends has a team of 47 agents. So you don't work with him unless your budget is in the 1 to 2 million. You're not going to work with him. You're going to work with whoever's next in line on the team. And so you'll call that number and it'll be a round robin and it'll be the next. So if that's what you want, that's great. Some just moved here. I know another great YouTuber who just moved here from out of state and, doesn't know the area that well, can't pronounce things, is kind of making some statements that aren't really true about, hey, Harris County has a tax rate of this. That's not how it works. It's all neighborhood specific based on the MUDs. So just tread lightly and figure out who you connect with. It may not be me. About me, I'm a Christian. I think most people can tell that. I love Jesus. I love my family. I've been married to my husband for many, many years, and I love what I do. I do it because I love it. But just find somebody who connects with you. I would say my greatest strength is negotiation for my clients. This weekend, I got 5 houses under contract, mostly new construction, and all of it was just pushing the builders. One, they walked in and they said, oh, they want to build. They're going to give them $30,000 at the design center. I got them to $50,000. I got a lot premium, half price. All those things. Find somebody who is and I know how to push my builders. They are going to tell you the same thing every time. Hey, go in. And they're going to say, oh, we're giving this. They say the same thing to everybody. We're not going to accept that. Now, if this market turns and we're in bidding wars and there's a long wait list, okay, that might be a different story. So it's early here and I need my coffee. So make sure, with that you have somebody who is going to push, and the builders know me and we have a great relationship. But for another example, I have a client buying in Bridgeland right now, and I know that her house, the lowest it's been sold, is $569, and I got her at $555 because we could close by the end of the year. So you have to push and get the best deal. Okay, so you're gonna find that agent. What I do is you can reach out to me via email, text, Instagram. I'm Houston Realtor Natasha. Facebook, it's just Natasha Tessier. Reach out, and then I'm gonna have my assistant call you and get to know what you're looking for, what your timeline is like. And she is going to set up a Zoom for us. On that Zoom, there will be 3 of us. One is my paperwork queen, one is my showing queen, and me. So all that is if you're gonna come in town and you wanna see 10 different communities, or you're just not sure what you want, you are gonna go out with my showing queen, and she's going to take you through and take the time to narrow it down. Once you have it narrowed down and you're like, hey, these are the 2 houses, or this is the neighborhood, or whatever, I'm going to be the one you're going to work with. I mean, I'm going to be working with you the whole time anyway, but I'm going to be the one that's going to negotiate on your behalf, run inspections, all that good stuff. The other one is my paperwork queen, writing offers. If we do an inspection and we need repairs, we need a survey done, we need appraisal, she's going to make sure all those boxes are checked, because there's just one of me. So those are my 2 girls that just help me. So we'll do a Zoom with all of us, and then we will set up a group text. We will set up a timeline of when you're coming here, get you on the calendar, and then we'll go from there. So you find your agent, find somebody you love, trust. You will have to sign a buyer rep agreement as of August 17th, 2024. You have to sign an agreement stating that you want to work with them. Right now, all the sellers are still paying all of our commissions in the state of Texas. I have not had to ask buyers to pay anything, but that could change. So if we get into a bidding war and you want to win the bid and I'm writing an offer and they say, well, we're not paying a buyer's agent, you will have to sign something saying that you want to work with us. And if there's a house that's not offering compensation, we will go to you first and say, hey, they're not offering anything. Do you still want to see it, or what do you want to do? But for me to advise you and be your agent, I have to have my buyer representation signed. So we will talk about that in the Zoom, but just be prepared for that. And you want an agent too who is up to date on those regulations. Things change all the time in our industry. So you really want to make sure you know what you're doing there. Now you're going to take that trip. So like I said, we're going to put you on a search, we're going to put on a group text, and then we're going to take a trip here and we're going to figure it out. So it may be, the schools that you're looking into. It may be the location to work. It may be that you want a community that has older, community with a pool that's open year round. I mean, there's so many things and factors that go into this, and there's so many good options when it comes to it. So you just want to make sure that you plan that trip. We have you on the calendar blocked off, and then we can figure it out. I do tell my clients in that Zoom, do not negotiate with the builder. Just whatever they say they're giving, go, okay, thank you, and then let me do my job. And don't act overly interested and this is the one. We need to use our tactics and negotiate on your behalf. So if they know, oh my gosh, they're gonna build and this is their lot and they're all set, then that makes it harder to negotiate. The next thing is we're gonna need to get a lender involved. If it's a new build, which a lot of my clients are doing, we will go to the new build lender and apply, but we will also bring in an outside lender. And I have several, and they're honest, and they're gonna tell you, yes, you're getting a really good deal, stick with the builder's lender, or they can beat it, which a lot of times they can, a lot of times they can't. But we need to pin those two against each other, because that competition will get us a better deal, whether that be the lender lowering their cost. Right now, one of my lenders is offering a free appraisal. They're paying for it. So there's all sorts of reasons to talk to several lenders, and we will take you through that. And then we're going to need that pre-approval to make the offer. So you have to talk to the lender and they have to approve you before you can make the offer. They're not going to take a house pending if you have not talked to a lender. So that has to be in our steps. So then we will go in, if it's new construction, we'll go in kind of low and push until they won't go anymore. We'll get the best price there. We can see on the back end, we can run a comparative market analysis and say, hey, all these Westons have sold for this, and this is where we want to be. And they, we can really push them. So we'll do that. We'll make an offer, or if it's, a pre-owned house, we'll go through that. At that time, you will have 3 days. Well, let's back up a little bit. Not new construction. If you're buying pre-owned, you will have 3 days to pay your earnest and option money. Earnest is almost always 1%. So $500,000 house, $5,000 plus a few $100s for the option period, which is usually 7 days. This is on pre-owned, not new construction. So $5,200 owed to the title company. If we back out any reason in that 7 days, we get the $5,000 back. The seller keeps $200. We move on. That's our option or inspection period, as other states call it. So that's how you'll turn in. It'll be one check. You can usually do it digitally or wire it. We'll go through all those steps with you, but that's due within 3 days. Okay. Now on my new construction, it's a little bit different. Some require a $5,000 deposit. Some require $10,000. Some say if you apply with our lender, like Weston, we only require $5,000. Some, if you're building, will make you put half of all your upgrades down at that time. So if you're going to do $50,000 in upgrades, you're going to owe an additional $25,000 because they don't want to put all these upgrades in and then you back out and then they're stuck with the house. Again, all these deposits, if you stick it out to the end, are credited back to you. But you do not get a refund on new construction. So you have to know for sure that's your builder. They will be good about, like one of my clients had a house listed, it didn't ever sell. We backed out of the contract and they gave the credit to the client. They have 12 months to secure a new Weston. They're pretty good about letting you put it towards another house, but they're not going to refund you. However, on pre-owned, like I said, if you back out, they will give you your 1% back minus the option fee, which is usually a few $100s. So just keep that in mind. Then we're going to want to run private inspections. Even on a new build, they're going to say, oh, well, we run 32-point inspection. No, we want our own private inspection. I have great inspectors. I can recommend inspectors. I cannot pick them for you. I can schedule it, but I cannot pick them. So we'll send you the list. You can call them. You can say, oh, I like so-and-so. We will book it. And then that inspector will go out and they will give us a full page report of, 20, 30, 40, 50 pages within 24 hours. And they will talk to us about what is important. Now, new construction, we're expecting everything to be fixed. Pre-owned, it's a little bit more of a negotiation. Okay. So we'll go through all that and we'll figure that out on, what repairs we want if it's pre-owned, or like I just did a new construction. We sent it to them once and then we re-inspected yesterday and they're still not done. One of the ovens is not staying on. It needs a new circuit. One of the toilets is not flushing. I mean, the roof that had to have, there were shingles out of place and some flashing. They did fix that. We're going to make sure on your behalf that all those things are repaired because we can't just let that stuff go. Now, granted, you're under warranty, but let's fight it before we give them money instead of after. So we're doing all the inspections, we're negotiating repairs if it's pre-owned, or we're asking for all the repairs on a new construction. And then there's probably gonna be an appraisal. So if you have a lender, the lender will order the appraisal. We have nothing to do with it. It's an outside source. They will order it and they will go in and appraise the home. The one reason I like an outside lender on new construction is it's not an appraiser that's associated with the builder. They're not going to just check a box. They're actually going to go out and protect you. And that's one reason I really like my lenders outside of the new construction, because they can go in and look in what's selling and they're not, Another example I can give is I had buyers. They were buying a 2-year-old house in Bridgeland, and the house appraised for $585 with the builder's appraiser when they bought it. But we got it for $550 2 years later. And the client was like, well, how did it appraise? Well, because the builder's appraiser came out and said, yep, it's worth that. So you have to be careful when it comes to appraisals. If you're cash, I have a cash deal going right now in Woodland Hills. And we wrote in the contract that the house has to appraise or we're backing out and we're getting our money back, just to protect my cash buyers. Okay. So the cash buyers are now going to have an outside appraiser come in, check, make sure we're not overpaying, which I know we're not. We're getting a really good deal, but they just want 100% certainty. And so that is another way to protect yourself. Okay, most of our closings happen within 30 days. If you're cash, it can happen in 10 days, 2 weeks. If not, standard is 30 days. VA can be 45 days. So, that was a lot of talking. So that is everything as far as your steps to moving to Houston. And then after that, we do get our keys same day here. So I know like in California, some of my clients, they have to go through and they have to do these like 5-day steps afterward and they send it off to the county. That's not how it works here. Once your money is delivered by the lender and your deposit is down, you fund and you get the house that day. If you're selling, you need to be able to walk out of the house that day unless we've negotiated a lease back here. So it does happen that day. It's cleaned, it's ready to go. We do a final walkthrough. Oh, I forgot that part. So we do inspections. We make sure everything's repaired. We sometimes re-inspect. For example, the reason I re-inspected the Bridgeland one is because it was on the roof. I have no way of knowing if the roof is repaired. Now we can go turn on an oven and make sure that the oven works, but we're not going to get on the roof. So you do your re-inspection. Then we do a final walkthrough the morning of. So, and if you're out of state, you can sign from out of state. It's no problem. We will go do a full video. We're going Monday morning to my clients that are moving from, I think they're in Seattle. And we are going to do a whole video. They're actually buying some furniture and different things and make sure everything is in place before they sign and the money goes over. So we know, there's no last minute leaks or anything. I really like to do that the morning of if I can. Some builders won't let me, but some will, just so I can be 100% before we buy the house. You do have a warranty though on those. Okay. And you can also add a warranty to your pre-owned house. I don't think that they're, totally amazing, but they can help, like if the dishwasher breaks, little things, but they're not bulletproof. It's not like they're gonna, buy you a new HVAC or anything crazy like that. So those are your steps, and then you will get your keys on closing day and move into your beautiful new home. And I will go to your closing with you. I like to attend all my closings if possible, and if not, somebody from my girls will attend. And we'll talk through on your taxes and making sure everything is prorated on that settlement statement correctly. There's a lot of things to think about if you're buying new construction and that builder is crediting you for your taxes. This can get confusing, but we pay our taxes in the arrears. So let's say you're buying a house in June and the builder owned the house from January 1st to June 1st. They're going to credit you that money so that you have to pay the tax at the end of that year. So you owe June to December. Well, a lot of times they'll only credit you on the land because that's what the previous tax bill states. Hey, it's worth $20,000. You get the tax bill and it's all of a sudden worth $400,000. That builder owes you money, and we will talk through all that at closing and make sure you have a right to go back to the title and back to the builder, and they will credit you money. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to protect you and to walk you through those steps and to make sure you don't get taken advantage of and all those things. The person in the sales office is there to represent the builder. You don't want to work directly with them because they're not there to help you. They're not there to push the budget. They're not there to protect you on things like that. So I hope that helps. Okay, I want to show you my giving jar. Let me just grab it real quick. So this is just off topic because it is the holiday season. 'Tis better to give than receive. This is our Tessier giving jar. And every year we do 12 days of Tessier giving. So I've done this since my kids were little and I really loved it. And I have all the little paperwork and everything that I can send you if need be. But basically these are all labeled per day. So whatever day it is on the calendar. And what I do is I line it out. So if we have something going on, like let's just say we have volleyball that night, we won't do something difficult that night. That might be call a grandparent to say hi. So there are things like adopt a soldier and send them a care package. And my kids are always amazed at what those soldiers need, like socks, lemonade packets, hand warmers. I mean, it's really cool for them to gain perspective in the giving season. We've baked goods for elderly homes. We've baked goods for the fire department and the police station. What are some of the other? We do a pet day where we go and donate to the local pet shelter some blankets and some treats. Like I said, call a grandparent to say hi. When they were little, they used to write a letter to their teacher telling them what they loved about them. I mean, just There's so many things that you can do. There's this whole list of things, but every day has a different thing. And so we go through and we try to give to different things. So I love that. Just total random side note, but something I do with my kids, and I've done it for many, many years, and they love it. We bake a lot of cookies during that time. Oh, I know another one, because we go up to Christmas Day. So we try to treat the people having to work Christmas Eve or work Christmas Day, because I don't know, if you get on a flight, your flight attendant is having to work. We try to give them a treat. Or if you go out to dinner, they're having to work Christmas Eve. So try to teach my kids as much as I can about giving and what other situations. There's a lot of people they used to love when my boys would come in. My boys are almost in college. Or one is in college and one's going to college. But they used to go in and, give cookies to, an elderly person. They may not, and they'd write cards for them, and they might not have anybody coming to see them during this holiday season. It can be really lonely. So anyway, that's my Tessier giving jar. If you want the templates, you can text me and I'll send them to you so you can use them for your household. Total random side note, but I thought you'd enjoy it. So anyway, I hope this video of steps to moving to Texas is helpful, and I hope you have a blessed day.